We'll have to check to make sure it works. We should be live, but it's been a little bit of time, so I don't think our stream key's expired, and it hasn't yelled at me, but it'd be good to verify.
We haven't been locked out of the system yet.
Yeah.
Here, 1 sec. I'm pulling it up now. Okay, sounds like everything's working.
Good. So what have you been up to?
It's been a pretty nice weekend. Did some fishing on Friday.
Fishing?
Yes, there was a mayfly hatch.
Oh, yeah.
So went out there right at sunset. Wait for all the mayflies to come out. Primo fishing time. Caught nothing. But, had a fun time.
Well, of course you didn't. They were too busy eating all the mayflies.
Not eat well. It was just hard to. It just rained, so I'm not sure if that messed with them or not.
Oh yeah.
And then yesterday watched The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings.
It's a good one.
Great movie. And
we watched
also
first
saw
Batman yesterday.
Which first Batman?
Sorry, Batman Begins.
Okay.
It aged a lot worse than I remembered.
I've not seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah, I hadn't either. Sorry, what was the other thing you did?
Oh, and I also saw the new Mission Impossible.
Oh.
Of course.
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen a single one of the Mission Impossible movies.
They're pretty great movies, not gonna lie.
Is it similar scaling to like the Fast and Furious movies where they started out stealing VHS players and now they're taking over the world?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, it's always like, right, they're doing an impossible mission, right? So it always kind of goes that way. I mean, I guess it does ramp up a little bit, but it's not like the insanity of the Fast and Furious. They're always spies trying to save the world, so.
I know he does all of his, he supposedly does all of his stunts for real.
No, those are, yeah. They obviously do it a safe way, but yeah, some of the stunts in that movie were crazy. So, Tom Cruise saves cinema once again.
I don't care for Tom Cruise.
I'm saying as a person, I'm saying as an actor. But no, so, and then you clearly had a good weekend as well.
Yeah. Had a little bit going on. Ate some good food. I made ube ice cream, too.
Ooh, nice. Did you use, like, extract or powder?
Yes.
Oh.
Both.
Nice. So it's extra ube-y.
Yes. Because I had I had some powder left from... I bought it when we went to Hawaii.
Wow, that's so you've had it for a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But it was also powdered. It was completely dry, so it wasn't didn't really have an expiration date on it. So I used it.
I mean, I guess that's probably fine.
Hey, I've not thrown up, and I've had some, so it's probably okay.
That's good.
And then I also got the extract.
No, a couple of friends of mine wanted me to go in on with them on a gallon of ube extract.
A gallon?
Yeah, I didn't even know they sold it by the gallon. Apparently Costco does.
What the hell do you need a gallon of it for?
Just for use over the course of many moons, I suppose.
I want to try and make... Do you remember when we went to that one shaved ice place and they had ube cream topping?
The one in white?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And it was like the best thing we had tasted. I think, I'm guessing. I haven't looked it up. I need to look it up. I am assuming it was ube extract and sweetened condensed milk. And if I could duplicate that, I would be happy forever.
Oh, that was pretty good.
It was so good.
Oh, making me hungry.
Sorry. I'm not really eating meals today. I'm just snacking. So
I'm just eating ube extract.
No, I'm not drinking it yet. I can't imagine it would taste good though. It's so dark. It's
Yes.
black, and then you spread it out just a little bit, and it's so purple.
That's what makes it so fun.
And it doesn't even fade whenever you bake it either. It's a very strong purple dye.
Yeah. Don't be wearing any white clothes while you're cooking.
Yeah, that's good. Thankfully, I didn't get any on me because I was going a little bit crazy.
Oh, nice. Are you ready to jump into it?
Yeah, we can get on into it here. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Audio Shop Podcast. It has been a hot second, but we're back once again for our biannual podcast.
Yeah. Weekly means you do it once a week, like of a year, right?
Yeah. And we're reviewing at the time when we were originally gonna do this, newly released.
It was new at some point.
Yeah, Viagr Aboys by Viagra Boys. I assume that's how they say it.
I assume.
Which was new when we initially planned to do it.
Which was a month ago now.
Yes, but hey, we're doing it now.
Hey, better late than never.
Yeah.
It's still, it's still relatively fresh.
Yeah.
It's like bread that's only got like a little bit of mold on it. You just take that part off and use the rest of the bread.
Yeah, exactly. Never mind that the bottom 3 slices were wet.
No. Oh yeah, just as a quick background here, this is actually our second album we've reviewed of Viagra Boys. We had just previously did their album Cave World. But this is their newest release as of April 25th, 2025. Their 4th studio album. Viagra Boys, of course, is a Swedish punk band formed in Stockholm back in 2015. And they've had, obviously they've been big into the Swedish punk scene, where they like to juxtapose, as they say, real life with high art. And certainly real life at some point. Though they also say that they wanted to create this album to be a bit simple and stupid.
Yeah.
Because it reflects their personalities. So
I'd say
obviously, they definitely go for that. So yeah, if you're ready, Sam, we can jump right into the first track here.
Yeah.
Track number 1, Man Made of Meat.
It's you know what you're getting into with this intro, with this first track.
It starts with drums and grunting.
Yes, and there's a burp in the intro lyrics as well.
But yeah, this one starts with a kind of a synthy, bassy groove, and the lead singer, Sebastian Murphy, gives his kind of his talk singing style.
Yeah, this one is further from Talking Heads than previous, but this is very I don't know, this feels like a fake album, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like it would be a joke album in a TV show or something.
Like they're a punk band making fun of punk bands?
Exactly, yes.
Well, too bad, because they make good punk songs.
Well, yeah, they do. The aggressive guitar on this track is quite good.
Yeah, and it's I mean, the Talking Heads comparisons are I think apt. Obviously that kind of off-kilter funky vibe that they go for.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pioneered by the Talking Heads, or at least popularized by them.
More of being artsy for the sake of wanting to do it rather than trying to seem smart.
Yeah, you can tell they're clearly doing it to have fun.
Yeah.
Which, obviously very much exudes from their music. I mean, the production always has a lot of personalities to it. Like you said, they're going to burp occasionally, or like the kind of whirling that happens in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Not even to mention some of the more off-colored lyrics that appear throughout this album.
Yeah. What was it? What was the lyrics in this one? I'm a man who's made of meat.
Classic. I'm subscribed to your mom's OnlyFans.
Yeah. I spend $5 a month to see pictures of her Ghibli bits, and another $5 a month to talk to the AI chatbot.
So obviously there's a lot of self-awareness with it as well.
Yes, and those weren't delivered in the sing talking style. Those were delivered in a drunken rambling style.
Yes. Yeah, I think almost the vibe they're going for in some of these songs is like that guy who's like on the other side of the street late at night that's clearly drunk and just kind of talking to himself.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, I'm glad I'm not on that side of the street.
Yes. But it's got a very good hook. It's listening and evaluating it. It gets a little bit repetitive, but I've listened to this album like 4 or 5 times now. So, or at least the opening of the album, and it's not nearly as repetitive when you're just listening to it.
Well, we can go then to track number 2 if you're ready, Sam.
Yes, track number 2.
The Bog Body.
I believe
A
this
song
was,
which oh sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say a song that I think is literally about a man falling in love with a bog woman.
Was it falling in love or so much as being jealous of the bog woman?
I think there was someone who was jealous of the bog woman. He was defending the bog woman.
I see.
There's a whole like lyric about him like saying, "No, she's not a swamp woman. Swamps and bogs are different."
I did appreciate the distinction between a swamp and a bog. But
he like has a whole lyric just explaining that swamps, you decompose in a swamp, but you preserve in a bog.
Yeah. Well, there's that bog butter that they found in was it Scotland or Ireland?
Ugh. Like preserved butter.
Yeah. A really big hunk of it, like the size of like a beach ball.
That's a lot of butter.
It was a lot of butter. They didn't let anybody eat it.
Excuse me. Do not eat the bog butter.
Yes. But this was one of the singles, right? Or at least what they released I feel like Man Made of Meat and The Bog Body were released prior to the album coming out.
I can look up the singles. I forget what they actually are.
I also don't know if it was just released on Spotify early or what. I don't remember.
Oh, no, the singles were, Man Made of Meat, Bog Body, and Uno Number 2, which is actually the next song. So they really front-loaded the album with the singles.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. I think they honestly just released the first part of the album. I was like, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, the song's quite energetic too. Got some chunky guitar riffs and, of course, some scream singing.
Mm-hmm. the lyricism, or not lyricism, the vocal performance in this one sounds like he smokes 2 packs a day.
It just had this gruffness, or I guess scratchiness behind it.
Really gruff.
All right, you ready to go to the next track?
Sure. I mean, we just brush over the chaotic sax and guitar solo duet at the 2-minute mark of this song.
Oh, it won't be the last chaotic sax part
No.
on this album.
Honestly, it's probably the tamest saxophone performance on the album. But yeah, jump into track 3 if you're ready, Coop.
Track number 3, Uno 2. Which, wonder if they did that on purpose. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Or 3, 1, 2.
Yeah. Well, where's the 3?
It's the third track.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. My first question is, why does this child have a vet?
I think he's a dog in the song.
Okay.
He's going to a vet. He found a crouton under the futon. But he also argues about Croatia in it. So who's to say?
Yeah,
the exact...
I was gonna say. Okay, the dog analogy kind of stops working there. But then he mentions Croatia and he says Swedish politics. So I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean the lyrics are on the typically unhinged side.
Yes, this one especially is a little more weird.
But it also has this bit of a darker instrumentation.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost this there's this flute that kind of floats throughout it. or some sort of woodwind.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a really funky jazz flute that adds some good spice to the instrumental chorus that I quite like, and it comes back.
yes, it's a nice little three line. It's a short song. It's only a little over 2 minutes.
Hmm.
But gets the idea, goes in. And the last chorus even has a female vocalist, like a pair with the with Murphy.
Yeah, that was it added some nice change to the song, and switching up the vocal performance where for the rest of the album it's a little not, I want to say samey. The vocal performance constantly changes, but at least they add someone else.
Yeah, so it's a nice little spice to close the song because it does end a little abruptly, but
Yeah. I will say it makes sense that it's the shortest song on the album.
but I can appreciate a song that knows when to get in to get out.
Yes. Yeah, they don't really hold anything too long except for one of them, but we'll get to that. Jumping to track 4 if you're ready, Coop.
Yeah, track number 4, Pyramid of Health.
Just another nonsensical lyrical one.
Which, if I had to decipher what was happening in the song, I think it's like almost like making fun of or like alternative medicine, like conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Right, that's the Pyramid of Health about like becoming a bug or eating bugs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's kind of delivered in this kind of filtered country twang styling.
Yeah, he's the weird. I feel like you really got to be listening to hear the vocal filtering, but it's like being pitched down to make it sound gruffer and give it that kind of country music style, old school country music style. Closer to Johnny Cash than whatever modern.
Blake Shelton.
Yeah, I can't name modern country stars.
Yeah, I also kind of really love the way it's delivered there. That sort of country rock thing they're going to, but they
Mm-hmm.
still have this kind of off-kiltered graininess to it.
I like this. I like the vocal styling. There's some weird electronic noise that's just in the left ear. It sounds like something coming out of a contrasaxophone, maybe, or it's electronically made, or I don't know. It's got some weird instrumentation in this.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of like how it's not like played straight, country rock. It's got that kind of electronic underbelly kind of festering
Mm-hmm.
underneath. And the guitars are all just sort of distorted and the slightly filtered vocals kind of help give it like its own like off-kilter flavor.
And I the chorus is catchy on this, but man, that ending is rough on the ears.
Yeah, kind of like rides out into like distortion. Like it's
It's
disintegrating.
yeah, a lot of this tracks on here are they act like they're trying to transition to a new song, but they end up just building to a cutoff, a hard cutoff.
Which, speaking of the next song, if you're ready, Sam,
Yes,
track number 5, Dirty Boys
with a Z.
with a Z. That's how you know they're cool.
There's a lot of interesting picture being painted about these so-called dirty boys. They steal bikes, but also collect a bunch of useless stuff and dump it by the river, and then smoke meth.
Yeah, they're described as both sweaty and full of gasoline.
Yes,
Relatable lyrics.
I did quite like that lyrical rhyme there. That was quite enjoyable. It reminds me a bit of that old George Washington song. You know what I'm talking about, where the description of him just gets weirder and weirder.
Oh yeah, 7 foot tall.
Yeah,
Killing for fun.
exactly. It kind of similar, just degradation of sanity, but you don't really know if he's telling the truth.
Right, like it's getting more and more unhinged of whatever these dirty boys are.
And then he starts choking at like the 2-minute mark, which I hated. And it's immediately followed by what sounded like it's a bass track, but I'm pretty sure it was just pitched down farts.
I mean, it's like this, like it's these super fat like synth layout. Um, and with the chorus kind of creeping in underneath it as well. Like the whole thing gets like overrun by the synth.
Yeah.
Honestly, the synth of the song is nice and chunky. I love it.
Yeah, I really like uh the electrical delivery on this. It's fun.
He even ends on a Elvis
Just
impression for some reason.
just for shits and giggles, I guess.
It's not a bad Elvis impression either.
No, not horrible. It has a future in Vegas. Jump into track 6 if you're ready, Coop.
Yes, track number 6, Medicine for Horses. Which is a little,
Sorry, go
it's a little
ahead.
melancholic.
I was gonna say it's also actually singing. It feels weird and out of place a little bit.
And it's not like sing talking, it's like
Yeah, it's
singing.
proper singing. He's got a really nice voice when he actually sings.
Yeah, it's got a certain like I mean, I'm just gonna say it's like the most technically impressive voice of all time, but it displays a lot of emotion.
Mm-hmm. That's pleasant to listen to as well. I had a question. Why would a child be able to recreate him from his spinal fluid in several hundred years when the child would also be dead by that point?
Look, ask the Viagra Boys.
Because
I'm sure they have very in-depth lore to explain all of this.
that's the chorus, right? Talking about having his fluids drained so he can be reborn several hundred years in the future.
Yeah, sometimes the words just wash over me. Like I pick up individual words, but I don't know how they stream together.
Well, speaking of individual words, I quite like how he sings Plains of North America.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's some good sung vocal deliveries on this one,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some like female vocals that come in as well, like some backing, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a fun song, and it's actually sung, so it makes it different.
Yeah.
Jumping to track 7, if you're ready.
Yes, track number 7, Water Boy. Which of course, there's some high-pitched chipmunk vocal talking about some dude that looks like a raisin.
Yeah, I didn't catch the start of. I assume it was supposed to be him talking to a child. And it repeats a little bit of the first track of the album with the all right and okay. And then it gets into some weird stuff. I want to believe that the reference to the raisin guys, he's talking about those California raisins.
I don't like those guys. They're creepy.
It's just Eminem, the M&M's guys, but raisins, you know?
I will say the song has a real sexy synth line on it.
Yeah.
That kind of goes throughout it. It's like and it has a really good bass combo with it as well. The synth and bass on this album are stellar.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Jump to track number 8 if you're ready, Coob.
Yeah, track number 8, Store Policy.
This is a weird one.
This one gets desolate and aggressive.
Yeah.
I think it's the best words I could say.
Really stripped back instrumental. The jazz flute is back with some really harsh guitar and, some crazy sax around the 130 mark, but it's really kind of leans on the vocals, which there's something.
I mean, it's like this like deep, I mean, the vocals are kind of buried, but like they're like this filtered, angry delivery under like some really aggressive percussion. And like you said, those like flutes come in and like kind of like they're like these whirly, airy flutes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess jazz flute's probably the closest comparison.
Yeah.
Which like kind of tethers the rest of the song because it kind of descends into itself.
I'm not sure how I feel about gooning being introduced into the lyrics.
Well, I mean, honestly, that feels on brand for the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Suppressed took this long to introduce it.
Yeah, it is. It is mentioned quite commonly. The other thing, you know what else is mentioned quite commonly? When did crashing out become slang?
I don't know, a year or two ago is when I first heard it.
It's weird.
I mean, it's basically what it just means the same thing as like what would be a
Like
equivalent?
freaking out or something.
Yeah, freaking out or like losing your cool.
Because when I hear crashing out, my thought was, like, oh, I'm crashing, as in, like you're exhausted and you've reached the end of your rope.
Maybe that's where it kind of comes from.
I don't know.
We're not young anymore, Sam. We're not on the hip lingo.
No, I was hipping with it, but then they changed what it was. It'll happen to
It'll
you.
happen to you.
As we met. How old is that Simpsons episode that we're referencing?
Probably as old as we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love how this song kind of like just becomes like this cacophony, uh, where like the jazz was just going off. There's like this rhythmic grunting in the background, very primal feeling.
Yeah. I'm also not the biggest fan of the singing style used here.
Oh, I think it pairs well with the aggressive instrumentation.
I'm not saying. Sorry, I'm not saying it doesn't fit the song. I'm saying I'm not a fan. that's all I'm
fair.
saying.
That's fair.
So, and then it has another super drawing outro that acts like a transition, but then just ends.
If you're ready, we can go to track number 9 if you want,
Yes,
Sam.
track number 9.
You need me.
You need 33D me.
Which is as far as I can tell, a song about a guy bragging about all the obscure knowledge he has and how that gets him women.
Yeah. Although, honestly, I was thinking, him saying, you need me over and over again makes it seem like he's trying to convince himself.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that they need each other.
The lyric, again, this is another one where I quite like the lyrics. I didn't write the whole thing, but the line about ruining the vibe at a party, I thought that was quite well written and self-aware.
I like the part where he talks about him doing a little dance to like you can tell he's dancing the song.
Mm-hmm. Because it starts off with I could say a word and make girls stop and do a little dance for me. And then by the end of it, I can make girls stop and watch me while I do a little dance.
Everyone's doing a little dance.
Was it with one word I can get somebody to beat me up and throw me out?
I also like that little breakdown in the middle where he just starts rattling off like facts that just kind of blend into each other.
It's just a bunch of random war facts too. Quite well fits the personality made for the song. At least I hope it was made for the song.
Look, everybody has been in that situation where they're saying some fun fact and you're like, oh wait, nobody cares. It's like that, but you just keep going deeper into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to go on to track number 10?
Yes, track 10.
Track number 10, Best in Show Part 4, which is the longest song of the album.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It starts with some clapping and some bass.
Not so much singing as just talking, but he's got some real wild things to say here at the start, so I appreciate the clarity.
Yes, very normal lyrics as always on these songs.
This is definitely the conspiracy theory song. They usually have one heavily on each album, and this one they kind of jammed it all into one.
Yeah, I'd say Cave World was their last album was a little more heavy on like the conspiracy theory, I guess, like theme.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one almost seems more about just like weirdos.
Yeah, so that they hit the conspiracy theory weirdo by now.
Yes. But this whole story about him like getting what sacrificed to a volcano and then like working like in an insane asylum that he was put in before he lost his medical license.
Yeah, he was sent
It's
to
like a whole story.
sent to an insane asylum as an inmate, but when he showed up, he told them he was the new therapist, and he worked there for 4 months and then lost his quote unquote medical license.
Yeah, it's a interesting song.
Yeah, a lot of
Like I said,
interesting
it kind of has
things.
this whole bongo clapping bass thing kind of floats underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, until it starts having like this kind of female and almost Vocaloid vocal build.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got there's the choir in the background, but then there's those super weird auto-tuned voices that reminded me of "All My Life" by Gorillaz. Is that the song?
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
It was
Was
on.
that off Humans?
Yeah, I think it was off Humans.
Hmm.
I think whichever one had Andromeda.
Oh yeah, that was Humans.
But I listen to that one sometimes because it's not the worst song on the track. It's not the best. It's got a fun music video. That's why I listen to it. But
Yeah, but this one then descends into a sax frenzy, I guess is the best word I can describe it as.
yeah, it's I'm not the biggest fan of that part. It was, what was it? Sorry, I'm still looking. It was, I don't remember. I'd have to find the music video, I guess. I want to say maybe it's Let Me Out, because it's got Pusha T on it.
I'll admit I don't remember most of the songs off of Humans.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite album of theirs.
I mean, Andromeda's a really good song.
Andromeda's a good song.
Strobe Light's all right. Saturn Bars is all right.
There's a couple of good songs, but
yeah, Let Me Out. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Because they did it's got a music video and it's very trippy. Let's see. No, I guess not. I'll have to dig through their YouTube channel and see which one I'm trying to think of. But anyway, back to the actual album we're talking about. I mean, he recognizes that he needs help like halfway through the song, so that's that's
an improvement.
Yeah.
It leads into the last song of the album.
Yes.
Track number 11, River King.
Brushing over the fact that this was the longest song on the album, and the last half of it was just a musical version of a mental breakdown.
Just a extended crazy sax solo.
Yeah, so we'll just
yeah, it didn't quite have the snappiness of the other songs.
No,
I'll admit.
Right at the 3-minute mark was a child playing saxophone for the first time, just honking. Anyway, River King,
which is it's a straight up sad boy piano ballad.
Yeah,
like no gimmick, no twist.
Vocalist very close to the microphone, but very well performed.
Yeah, it doesn't really go with the rest of the album at all.
No, not at all.
But it is an interesting change of pace right at the end. Or I guess maybe it's showing they're not quite a one-trick pony there.
Yeah.
I mean, pairs, like you said, the vocals have a lot of emotion, and it's paired with like this very soft sax and obviously some like piano noises.
Yeah, some really nice light
piano.
Well. And not just saxophone, duetting saxophones.
Yes.
And then they have some light cafe noise kind of in the background as well, which is really nice.
Yeah. Like he's performing in front of an audience.
Yeah. It does bring up feet again. I wonder if they've got a feet thing.
Well, who's to...
Because we didn't mention it in the first track, but the chorus is something, you're on the internet looking at feet.
I mean, that's downright mild compared to the rest of the album.
Yeah.
That's basically romantic.
But yeah, it's an odd choice to end the album, but it kind of helps bring the energy down after the craziness. it brings you back to the real world and lets you come like, okay.
I mean, and I guess if you had to have it anywhere on the album, I can't really see it being stuck between any of these songs.
Yes.
So
it's a little much.
but yeah, so that's the full album.
Yeah, that's all there is. I'm sorry, I'm still on. Oh, it's Saturn Bars is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah.
That's the vocal performance. Anyway, that's the album. We gotta talk about our favorites and least favorites now. So Cooper, what would you say your least favorite track on here is? And I feel like we might agree.
I'd probably go Best in Show Part 4.
I would also agree with that.
I think it shows why. I mean, it's not a super long song, 5.5 minutes, but I think it kind of shows how Viagra Boys kind of snappiness is to their virtue.
Yes.
This one gets a little self-indulgent, maybe a little too vocal for it at times, and maybe it doesn't quite have that build and flow that the other songs have.
Yeah, and it's the longest song, and half of it is just chaos. Not well-structured chaos either, just kind of chaos.
Which is say, I don't mind chaos, but it doesn't feel like as earned as on some of the other songs.
No, yeah. What about your favorite then? What would you say your favorite would be, since we agreed on the least favorite?
I actually really like Pyramid of Health as a solid groove.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just that mix of like country twang and like synth does it for me. I also really like Store Policy. I just kind of like how insane that song gets.
I'm not a big fan of that one.
I know you're not a big fan of it, and I can absolutely see why. But just like those air flutes paired with like the super aggressive percussion and vocals, just like has a very satisfying build for me. I completely understand why you would not prefer that.
Yeah.
But it like scratches like the lizard part of my brain for some reason.
Weird.
Like I don't make the rules. I just like them.
Fair enough.
So, well, what's your favorite then, Sam?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not really sure. It's either Medicine for Horses, The Bog Body, or Man Made of Meat. I think I might be leaning towards Bog Body, then Man Made of Meat, then Medicine for Horses as the order. But I don't know, because it initially was Man Made of Meat the first couple of times, but now I think I'm leaning Bog Body. They're just
nice.
both good. I quite like him. And I also, for Medicine for Horses, I quite like his actual singing style.
Yeah, no, I mean, his vocal delivery is pretty varied throughout the album, honestly. For someone who's not doing a lot of singing.
Yeah.
Or not as much singing as you'd expect from a vocalist on a band.
Yeah. But that's the album. We got to rate it now, Coop.
Yeah, we got to rate it. So who did it last time, Sam? You remember?
God knows. who wants to do it this time, I think, is the thing.
Well, I can do it this time. Well, here at the Audio Shop Podcast, of course, me and Sam, we've been gone for a little bit of time.
Just a little bit.
And that's only because we were actually traveling abroad. We went all the way to the distant land of Antarctica.
Mm.
You see, we found ice samples that had car parts in them. So we think that some sort of ancient civilization maybe had grown and developed in Antarctica, and that we'd find like the beginnings of technology there. It turns out it was like a 1993 Honda Accord that just got frozen up in some lake in Canada. So complete bust, wasted millions. Yeah. But it gave us the idea for this podcast, which we have a car-themed rating system where at the tip top, we've got showroom. That's the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Something you want to listen to over and over again. And all the way on the bottom, you've got the scrapyard, the ooh, yeah, get it away from me. Completely bottom of the barrel garbage that you never want to see again. And then we have like new, fixer-upper, used rental, and we'll give it a high or low depending on our mood for that day. So with all that said, Sam, what would you rate Viagra Aboys by Viagra Boys?
I think I would rate this a like new. maybe a very low like new, maybe almost moving into fixer upper. I think the start is very strong. I kind of think it falters for about half the album. So I enjoy it, but it's not the best. I don't think it's my favorite album they've done. But what about you, Coop? What are you thinking about this one?
Oh, that's fair. I think I'll give it a like new. I might lean towards more of a high like new. I agree though, the back half or the last few songs, it ends on a weaker note than it starts.
Yeah. Aside from
But it's
River
got,
King, I quite like the River King
yes.
ending.
I think it's got some solid songs. You're right. There's not really much like album flow between songs.
And
I have to knock a point or two off for that.
Also them pretending that there's album flow and then the song is just ending hurts a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, but there's some solid singles here.
Yes,
obviously some great performances, both vocally and instrumentally. And maybe it doesn't have like the same, like the tightest theming, that they had on like their last album. But I still think it's a fun bunch of songs, and the ones I expect to come back to again.
And I have.
But yeah, that's it. That's our rating.
That's the album. Now we're gonna roll on over to the spare tire, which is just whatever else we've been listening to for the past 6 years since we did the last episode. Let's see. There was the new the Gizzard Phantom Island. I don't think I've listened to this yet. I thought I did.
Wait, did they release an album?
There's one coming out on June 13th. They've got a countdown going right now. But there's Phantom Island and Dead Stick, or then Grow Wings and Fly are the singles. I don't remember if I've listened to that. I think I might have.
I don't think I listened to them either.
Let's see. I've gotten back into ELO. I'm trying.
Of course.
Well, okay, so I'm trying to be better. Recently, I've been, for the past 6 months or so, on the way into work, I've not been listening to music. I've just been not watching, but like listening to podcasts and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get some more music back in my life. That's not me trying to, buckle down and focus and just enjoy the music. So I've been doing that. Still listening to Neverender on repeat. Honestly, probably best song of 2024. Gonna say it now. I revisited Cracker Island because I think I've gained more appreciation for it now that I'm not as hurt that the whole album wasn't like the title track Cracker Island. I've been listening through every Takanaka album in order, properly. I think I'm I've listened to all of me before, or no, all of me. Yeah. Is that where I'm at? I think so. I listened to that all the way through before, but I'm like, okay, I'm doing it in order. Rainbow Goblins. I actually need to go listen to one of those songs. I've had it stuck in my head. Have you listened to Rainbow Goblins, Cooper?
I have not.
It is an interesting album. It's a storybook album. So there's a very high-pitched British man. Then the goblins left the valley, and then it just plays its Takanaka music after that.
Brother,
it's
you're not selling it.
It's an interesting concept album. You'll like it.
Okay. I'll trust you.
What else? I think that's really been it. Stevie Wonder's "Isn't She Lovely" has just been in my head forever.
It's a great song.
Except whenever I think of it, I can't just hear the baby crying. Yeah, I think that's it. Just trying to have a good time with it, I swear I've listened to some new releases. I don't remember what they are because it was a month ago. But I can't remember. What about you?
I've listened to some new releases. Let's see what came out. I also have to remember. Let's see. Duval Timothy released a new album, Wishful Thinking. I love his music. He's like a piano player.
Mm-hmm.
He makes magical music. let's see what else was new. Andre 3000 released a piano album of all things.
Weird.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was interesting. Oh, a Stereo Lab released a new album and released a new album in 15 years. So,
Dang.
And it was good. I was pleasantly surprised. Usually when legacy acts come back like that, it's not great, but they actually didn't really miss a beat. And then honestly, just a lot of different albums. I listened to a lot of Jerry Paper, a lot of Bad Bad Not Good since I saw them live recently. Some Polaris. Yeah, just a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
Music
there's
good.
actually a history now on Spotify. Has this always been here?
I think so.
No, I just literally have not found it till now. I've just been trying to pull it out of my memory. I thought Tame Impala was a group. I always do this.
It's just
whenever it's a group. Whenever it's one guy, I think it's a group, and whenever it's a group, I think it's one guy. What was that one that everybody's was a big fan of at college? Brockhampton. I thought that was just a guy.
No, it's a that's a group.
See, that's why I'm confused because it's just a guy's name.
Yeah, but it's a group of guys.
Well, I know that now. I didn't then. Tame Impala. That's a group name, but it's just a guy.
It's a guy. That's his name. He's Tame Impala. You know Bob Dylan? Actually, two people. Bob and Dylan.
That's unfortunate.
It's actually two men in a trench coat.
Yeah, I'd believe it. No one man can be that weird. Isn't there a movie with Timothy Chatbot as Bob Dylan?
Yeah, that just came out recently.
Yeah. He spent 5 years learning to sing and play the guitar, which means he's now better at it than Bob Dylan is.
Man, these hot Bob Dylan takes.
Yeah, we're really going to piss off the 65 plus demographic of our audience.
Try 70 plus.
I'm pretty sure my dad likes Bob Dylan.
Okay. But no, so that's it. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, that's all we've got. If you want to see more of this, it's on YouTube. Most of them are there. Let's see. What else? I got to remember this. Usually 8 p.m. Easterns, but who knows? I don't know.
Every week, every Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, most of these have been you, man. So it's...
Some were you.
Yeah. One or two, but the rest, you've just been going to concerts nonstop.
Look, I like music. What can I say?
And then we've got Blue Sky. Did you post about this one there?
I did.
Oh, okay.
At Blue Sky, at AudioPod. That's POD. We'll let you know when we're listening to an album and when we're going to review it. So
Audio Shop Pod, right?
Audio Shop Pod, yes.
I don't know who runs Audio Pod. They might be weirdos.
Yes. We're not affiliated with them.
You know what? I didn't do it all for this. It's been too long. I've still got the title as The Avalanches. That's my bad. And the tags are electronic dance, trance, plunder phonics.
Maybe not completely applicable to Viagra Boys.
No. That's my bad. It's like I said, it's been too long. I fixed everything on screen. Didn't fix that stuff. But anyway, that's all we've got for this week. And we will see you next time.
See you later, shoppies.
See ya.